Hello and welcome everybody to Explorers of Elsewhere Live. Hi, hello, hi, hello. How are we all doing? Are we audible? Can the world hear us?
We're not on YouTube.
We're not on YouTube. We're not on YouTube. I've got to click the go live button. Hello world. Hi. There we go, much better. A professional outfit, to be sure. This consummate professional goes by the name of DM Dan. Hello, welcome. Explorers of Elsewhere Live are currently fortnightly Daggerheart Actual Play campaign that was never intended to be a campaign, but just kind of turned into one.
Pretty much.
Hello, gathered players. Hello, Nate. Hello, Nate. Hello, Livy.
Hello.
Hello, Georgia.
Hello.
Hello, Dan.
Oi.
Hello, not Cal, bloody hell. Hello, Theo.
Hello.
How are we all doing on this fine day?
Good.
Good.
Amazing. I would wager that we players are doing better than our characters off the back of the last episode, of the last live stream, because they've had a bit of a rough time, have they not?
Little bit.
Little bit. I think we're overreacting.
Yeah, they. It's been a bit of a nightmare for everyone involved. You've been to a volcanic wasteland. You've kind of spelunked through dusty crypts and time itself. You've come a cropper of a big mean wizard who's stolen your doodads and left you stranded, and you've had a big old Barney with each other. Tensions were a bit fraught, but you've all thrashed it out. Everything's simmered down, and you have been called back to action.
Mm-hmm.
How we feeling about that call back to action?
Nervous.
Right.
Tentative.
Sure, nothing will go wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing at all. Yes. So, well, you at least you've made it out of Merathesos in one piece.
Yep.
So we are ready to crack on with our fourth live stream. We're near the end. I would be very interested to see you through to the end. If you're watching this live, hello, welcome. Please say hi in chat to keep us entertained while we keep you entertained, hopefully, over on Twitch and on YouTube. Hello. If you're enjoying this, make sure to hit like buttons, to hit follow buttons, to hit subscribe buttons, because there's loads and loads of stuff like this coming out all the time. We won't want you to miss out. So with all that said, shall we jump to an intro and then crack on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's do it.
Do it.
All across the unknown world, rediscovery pushes ever onwards to find the lands and people lost. All thanks to our brave explorers.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm playing Vanya, the Wolfkin Warrior.
Hey, I'm Livy. I'm going to be playing Rayri, the Sprite Ranger.
Hi, my name's Theo and I'm playing Cal, the Sangvar Guardian.
I'm Georgia, and I will be playing Elfric Stormhorn, a Dragon Scent Bard.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I'm playing Azakar, a Majani Seraph.
And my name is DM Dan, the GM in these adventures. The further we go, the more we learn of these magical tales from elsewhere. And so, we rejoin the five of you as you step through a silvery portal, a silvery rend in the fabric of reality that transports you from the volcanic blasted wastes of Merathesos to the carefully constructed and well-maintained streets of Aevermore. following behind the silver-haired Lorivar Archmagister Meridius, you feel the temperature of the air immediately change the moment you step through this magical barrier from one place to another. And whilst, like, for some of you who perhaps aren't a bit who acclimatise a bit too much in Merethisos, the sudden chill, well, the comparative chill in the air sends a shiver down your spine. But as you kind of as you get your bearings, as you take in your surroundings, you notice that the Archmagister hasn't kind of paused for ceremony, and is already kind of walking with purpose. And he turns to you over his shoulder, and "I need you to tell me everything that happened," he says, as he beckons you to follow him.
Are we out in public?
Currently, yes. So, you are in the Crown. You're looking around. You notice that you are in the Crown District. So in the north-east-ish corner of Aevermore, near where the kind of mages reside, near the Concourse. Fundamentally, like where the start of all of your adventures begin. Actually, you know what? We'll retcon that. You emerge into what appears to be like a large circular tower. I say large. It's about 20 to 30 feet in diameter. And strangely, it looks as if you just have a clear line of sight across the rooftops of the city. But Azakar, as you sort of like step from one foot to another, you see the kind of the illusory shimmer, which is concealing the stonework of the sides of this tower, and you realise it's just an illusion to make it invisible, to give a better, more aesthetic panorama of the city. But yeah, as you glance down, you notice that you're in one of the sort of like, in inverted commas, private spires of the Concourse in the Crown District. So yeah, you can see that there are people kind of buzzing to and fro. There's a relatively steady stream of citizens coming out of the Concourse grounds, as you can see what appears to be the morning sun beginning to rise over the horizon. So you would imagine that these are like traders from the various established expedition towns coming into Aevermore to begin their day of trade. But yes, so Merry kind of steps away from the portal, and then, you know, with his hands clasped at the small of his back, he peers over his shoulder at you. Tell me everything that happened.
Well, it appears that our mission was to lead Gannis to this temple, but he fooled us. It was not, his plans were to deceive us. There was some sort of arcane mana crystal apparatus that it was obvious that he wanted to obtain, and he pulled us into what we can only tell as a mirage of the past, and I'm guessing to power this crystal. And
Meridius, you see him sort of like pursing his lips. What expressions are the five of you wearing in your faces as Azakar recants the tale of what happened in the Temple of Naravid? Like what expression is etched on your faces? starting with Cal.
I think Cal's wearing his usual face, but there's a lot more intense. I think he's like not nodding with a very stern kind of ready to continue sorting Gallus out kind of face.
Okay. Vanya?
And I think Vanya, he's not super affected by this conversation. If anything, there might be a slight pang of general guilt for being the one who was with Gallus at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also very quick to just press on, and he is mulling out. There is a sense that he might be mulling over something, but what that something is, I'll later reveal. But yeah, it looks like he's thinking about something, but it doesn't look like he's pained by this conversation too much, or especially concerned, because he's part of being an explorer who got to continue.
What about Alfric?
I think Alfric is kind of a mixture of shamefaced and that kind of expression a child gets when they've just been told off by someone, sort of like the beginnings of slight belligerence, but mostly he looks ashamed of how badly that went.
Riri?
Are we walking and talking? No.
No. Meridius is, for all intents and purposes, very Star Trek captain on the bridge, just stood like he's turned his head back from looking at you over his shoulder and he just seems to be sort of like taking in the vista of the city of Aevermore.
Okay. Yeah, I think Rari's just kind of like she wants to like put in what she thinks are important details. Like, it was hot, it was big, there was things Vinny gave her Azakar a ride, but every time she just sort of is looking at Azakar's face and he's just so serious that she's like, so yeah, just kind of it's not the time for her to do what she wants, so I think she's aware that it's quite serious and Azakar's quite angry about the whole situation. So
okay, and finally, yeah, Azakar, what's on your face again as you tell what expressions on your face?
I think he's gone back into sort of a very composed state. It's almost more comfortable that he is now being given orders and being told what to do, rather than the very chaotic situation of what we've just been through. So I think he is now feeling almost like a comfort in the fact that he has been given an order to tell what's happened, and he's trying to recall it as best as he can.
Okay, so in which case, like these expressions on your faces, as like Meridius turns his body to face you, he's still adopting this kind of very authoritative, personal position of power, posture of power. But you watch as his like silver eyes just kind of glance across each of your faces in turn, just for a split moment, and seeing some of the colours of guilt or kind of regret or shame or whatnot. He sort of like he closes his eyes and there's a look of frustration on his own face. I implore you, please, to not take this turn of events to heart. You were not the only ones deceived by the actions of Archmage Gannis. Clearly, we have, he says, and you get the impression he means like the royal we underestimated him. This past, that you mentioned, you ventured through this mirage, he says, turning back to you, Azakar. What what was happening in it? Why all of this? There must be some rhyme or reason to the smoke and mirrors of dragging 5 explorers to the ends of elsewhere to this specific place. What happened there?
What was the? It was Naravid, was it? The temple.
Naravid, yeah.
Temple to Naravid. The temple to Naravid. It was. We were taken back to. Obviously, a period where the divine soldiers came and took over the temple, took control of the Betrayer's actions.
The mirage was of the war.
Yes. From what I could tell from the brief time, maybe even very close to the eschaton.
And you mentioned that you were tasked with empowering some sort of crystal that he then escaped with, he says, and he turns to you, Vanya. You say that this crystal was charged when he left.
Yes, I think so. Don't really understand magic too much, but in this dreamscape, we spoke to a priestess who explained that we weren't really physically there, but in order to return to our original place, we had to charge up the crystal, and that's when we saw the events unfold between the two sides within this church temple place.
Meridius, like, his brow furrows as he kind of pinches his bottom lip in thought, and then you hear him sort of like mumbling and muttering to himself. Those more astute of you hear snippets of what he's kind of saying. The snippets being, it sounds like he's saying, the latent arcane mana transported through this memory, through time. And then he looks back up to you, and this mirage, was it identical to where you were? It seems sensitive to your location.
Yes.
And they could see us. We could interact with the people in there.
It would seem then that these adherents of Naravid, perhaps they were toying with the transference of mana through arcane ley lines, but on a temporal level, perhaps. This is worrying, to say the least. Did you get any indication of if Gannis had any help, or was he operating alone?
What was the god that the dragon spawned? What was the dragon spawn's name again?
Iron.
So I think it was Vanya or Cal correctly identified the dragon spawn in the temple as one of the brood of Wender High.
That's it, yeah.
The Beguiler.
We believe that Gannis had influence from Wenderhide, and that either this dragon spawn that was there is either in control or of Gannis or working alongside him.
Did any of you manage to catch the name of this dragon spawn? And he said as he looks to all of you in turn.
No, but he was really long. Had a really long body. Oh, thank you. Really long body. It was like this.
Vanya was in company with the Dragonspawn in the memory, but me as a player can't remember of the dragon.
I would suggest that the eagle-eyed Archmagister, as he looks from face to face, he looks to you all in turn, and then there's something that makes him return his attention to you, Alfric. There's something about your face that says perhaps you might know the name of this individual, this Dragonspawn that you saw.
Alfric probably does. Georgia can't.
No, that is fine. Yeah, Alfric, you in the face of Meridius's question, because you and seemingly this draconic entity had quite a little chat.
We had a tete-a-tete.
You did, and you know that the dragon, as in the chat there, is called Eindrith. Specifically, so Eindrith, the Dragonspawn the spirit of the Dragonspawn that was sealed in that black circlet in Archmage Ulick's mansion in your hometown of Seldafon. But yeah, Mary's looking at you because there's just something in there's a twinkle in your eye.
Dodgy look in that dragon boy's eye.
You're shuffling a bit too much.
He definitely is. That he can't keep a secret to save his life. I think under this stare, he kind of melts. It's Eindrith. I think.
Meridius, there's a flash of surprise and shock on the Archmage's face. Sorry, did you say Eindrith?
Yes.
He looks to you for a moment, and what Eindrith was. I never personally met the entity known as Eindrith, but I know that one of our number, whom the five of you are partially familiar with, had dealings with him during the war. I remember Archmage Ulick regaling us with tales of how he managed to defeat Eindrith at the height of his power.
Oh yeah, we saw him in the dream too.
You saw Archmage Ulick?
Yeah. And Eindrith. Because I kind of half spoke. Funny enough, now you say that, when we came out of this dream and then kind of did disappear, and then we were just lost in the wilderness, I did hear this. I think it was Eindrith's voice in my head, trying to mess with my mind, but he wouldn't be around at this period, would he? Is he Ganis? Is Eindrith Ganis? Are they both the same thing?
Did anyone else hear voices besides from our own?
I heard something.
A little voice.
Thank goodness, I thought I was the only one.
Azakar's gonna turn back to the Archmage and say, before we split up in the temple, before we entered the Mirage, Ganis used his magic to have a sort of communicative chat between the five of us, between the six of us. It may be very much that Ganis may still be in our heads.
As you say this, you've been watching the colour draining from Meridius's face as you as it becomes apparent that you've all been sort of like whispered to by this dragon spawn called Eindrith. And then as you kind of mention, oh yeah, we did like a mind link, like Meridius looks at you wide-eyed, and then he reaches a hand out and a staff materializes from thin air and kind of lands in his palm, and he aims the crystal like end towards the five of you, and there's a flash of white light that like dazzles and blinds you, and like it feels like there are little sparks of lightning kind of rippling across your cheekbones and sort of like down across your down your neck and across your collarbones and into your body. And like after these moments of discomfort, everything kind of returns to normal, but you notice that your minds sound quieter, like someone's closed the door to a windy exterior. Meridius takes a breath, and if Gannis was listening, he no longer has the opportunity. But if this voice that you were hearing, was it Gannis's?
No, it didn't sound like Gannis's.
Sounded draconic, like Eindrith's voice from my memory of him in the dreamscape.
Okay. If we are to assume that Gannis and Eindrith are working together, if Gannis were able to communicate with you via mind link, which then allowed your minds to be infiltrated by Eindrith, then it would stand to reason that Gannis and Eindrith are perhaps sharing the same consciousness, the same body. Perhaps the spirit of Eindrith was not defeated by Archmage Ulick. For whatever reason that may be, this spirit has lingered. How it has been freed, Meridius pauses. Perhaps with the death of Archmage Ulick not that many weeks ago, perhaps that has freed, broken the prison, broken the hold that was keeping Eindrith contained. Gannis and Eindrith now have a charged magical artifact. They seem to be... They drew you to a location with a prominent memory, one of a confrontation between Ulick and Eindrith. The question now is where we think they're going next. Meridius sort of like goes quiet, and he lifts his fingers to his forehead, closes his eyes, and those of you versed in like magecraft know that he's probably sending a psychic message of sorts, like a sending to someone else. And he there's a silence for a few seconds.
Are you alright? Have you got a headache?
And then he lifts a finger to shush you. And then his hand slowly lowers away from his face. And he looks, you notice, directly at Alfric. Gannis was seen heading into the Concourse portal towards Seldavon. Seldavon was the location of the final confrontation between Archmage Ulick and the Dragonspawn. Whatever their plans are, I suspect it has something to do with that battle. We need to hurry, he says. And Meridius, like, begins walking back towards you before veering off to the sort of like rounded staircase that leads down from this observation platform. Alfric, what's going through your head knowing that this mage is heading to your hometown?
I think sort of various very panicked swear words. I just go.
So, are you following the Archmagister?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but quickly, briefly, Vanier turns to Azakar. Quick moment to say,
Are we good, Azakar? I know we had a little out there, but I need to know going forward that you got my back, and as I will have yours.
You have my blade. We are good.
and he lifts up a hand for the old locking arms.
As a
You have my coordinates.
He sort of looks at your hand and goes, and kind of
We are explorers.
He figures it out.
He kisses the back of it.
Grapples hands with you.
We did this down in the caves.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He bows. He bows to you.
So, as the two of you sort of like reconcile and then hurry to catch up, you notice that there is significantly more urgency in Meridius's walk as he kind of winds down this mage tower out onto sort of like the public street or the public square in front of the Concourse building. And to paint you a picture, the Concourse building in itself is this large circular building with a sort of like a domed roof. The centre of the dome is a very elaborate like glass ceiling. Those who've kind of looked into it will have found out that the building that the Concourse now occupies used to belong to one of the Aesavari high houses, one of the ones who still pledged loyalty to Aya during the war, and in the establishment of the explorers and Aevermore as sort of like the home capital. The building has been commandeered for the construction of all of these portals to the various expedition towns. Yeah, Mary sort of like walks with you through the large kind of fairway into the Concourse. So you know that the Concourse, where it's this round building, it's got these mage towers stuck on the outside. The building is fundamentally sort of like ring shaped, and there's a large kind of common area in the middle underneath the glass ceiling. And you can see that there are a number of like traders and like citizens just kind of milling about and sort of like exiting from the Concourse in the morning traffic. But yeah, sort of like Meridius is fundamentally driving a wedge through the crowds as he leads you in. We need to get you to Seldavon to find out what Gannis is doing. We have whatever he's planning cannot be good for Seldavon, for Aevermore, for anyone. Eindrith was a master manipulator. Part of Ulick's bragging was how his stoic, steely mind protected him from the dragon's whispers. But I have a horrible feeling that if he is being drawn to such an important location, if Eindrith is being drawn to an important location within his own history, with this artifact that you've charged up from an impossible place in the past, the plan will positively be diabolical. And as you kind of walk across the circular common area towards the northeastern section of the ring where the portals are kept, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's pop down your tokens. Meridius effectively walks you to the door of the concourse ring where the portals are, and with a look of determination on his face. Go to Seldavon, find Gannis, do whatever you need to do, but stop him. Do not let Eindrith reincarnate, he says. I need to speak to the other Archmagisters. This may run far, far deeper. If Gannis may only have been the first of many. I expect good news from you next time I see you, he says. And his face softens momentarily. Good luck, explorers, he says. And he turns and hurries away. As you enter in to the concourse ring, you see that there are a couple of sort of like civilians loitering around. You know that the concourse is still somewhat the concourse itself is, for all intents and purposes, only a couple, like 5 months old at most. But you can see that immediately in front of you is the large kind of circular dais with the arched portal that's on, flanked by 2 concourse portal guards in their kind of telltale uniforms. They don't look any particularly special to you, given that you've used these portals very, very many times. But yeah, they sort of like they nod at you as you enter. In front of you, there are 2 kind of chattering goblin, like older goblin women, and one of them says, "What's taken so long? It's only been open a few months and these portals are awful." She's kind of whinging, and then she turns and goes, "I bet you're going to get in front of us at all," she says, as she looks at the 5 explorers that have just turned up.
Yes, we are.
And one of the portal guards, also a goblin woman, she sort of like steps over, seeing this sort of like discontent, and now dears, she says, she's kind of like waving these large kind of magical golden gauntlets. There's just a few issues with the portal. We're just making sure it's safe before we let you through. We wouldn't want you to appear 300 feet above ground now, would we? She says, and the 2 goblin women start gribbling and grumbling. But yeah, this goblin woman sort of like smiles to you as she nods. And Cal, I think it's probably you that notice that the azure kind of shimmer of the portal, which would normally show you the location by looking through it, almost like an open doorway, is currently opaque, and it's sparkling like a drape covered in sapphires. And you see this sort of like ripple across the middle of the portal. And as the 2 goblin women, they simmer down for a moment, and then, no, this is stupid. There's not even that guy over there has stolen all the benches. And the portal guard comes over and attempts to calm the 2 elderly goblins down, when you notice that the Lorivar man stood by the portal has noticed and turns to look. And seemingly, from the edges of the arch where the portal meets the stonework, you see what appears to be rivulets of a red liquid seeping in and creeping towards the centre, almost like something's bleeding in. And as the portal guard looks at it, and what on elsewhere is that? He says. The portal snaps and turns a bright sanguine red. And the mage steps back a few steps, wondering what's happened. And you watch as the portal ripples and 5 individuals burst through its surface into the concourse waiting area. And the portal guard, like stunned as he is unable to do anything as a waved dagger arcs down and plunges into his collar, and he collapses to the ground. As these 5 robed, like green-robed cultists, you would expect them to be, begin pouring out of the portal, the gathered crowd start like screaming in panic. You can see the portal guards from the next portal over kind of looking over in confusion. But yeah, as these cultists begin pouring out, let's step into combat. Okie dokie. Right, so the cultists have got the element of surprise, arguably, but they used it to stab a portal guard. So I'm then passing over initiative. Who is the first to react to these cultists that just appeared?
I think I'd argue, as you said, I noticed the red first, that I should go first.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I think Cal immediately gets into soldier mode. And I think he like yells for attention to make sure that everyone has seen exactly what's happened.
Sure.
Everyone get out! He like calls, and then he shoots forward, swords out, ready to take on these chaps. So he'll get as close as he can to them and sweep with both his sword and spell render.
Okay. So you see this gathering of crazed-looking Lorivar and Aevermore that have poured out of the portal, and they're sort of like looking around, getting a bearing of their, getting a sense of their bearings. Yeah.
Cool. So I get as close as I can. Oof. And I'm gonna make a attack roll. Which was the one that stabbed the portal guard? Have you decided which one it was?
Let's say it was this crazed-looking lass here.
Sure. She's getting it first then. Cool. I roll for that. So that's my. And now it's going to be.
So, and if you roll agility.
Roll agility.
To make your attack roll. So +1 because you're using your broadsword. So 14 to hit, is that?
Yes.
Okay. That hits.
Great. Okay, so then I get to roll my damage. And I'm going to use spell render as well, so that's going to be 19 points of damage.
Okay. 19. Okay, so as you're immediately off the mark, like your alert senses kind of, you're noticing of the portal bleeding red, giving you the advantage, and as you sprint towards the broadsword and the spell render in a flurry of blows. Not only do you... Well, tell me what happens to the one that you're targeting.
I mean, how damaged are they? Because if they're dead, then he's literally going... He's basically repeating the same move back.
Okay.
Like it's almost like an identical mirroring image to what they did to the portal guard, as if also like calling out their behaviour.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
In which case, then, as you return the favour by plunging spell render into her into her sternum. The two cultists behind her spring forward to sort of like attack you whilst you're off balance, but you're quick enough that you then are able to dislodge the magic dagger, and with a flurry of the broadsword and the dagger, again, you cut all three of them down.
Oh, nice.
They are dead. And they collapse to the ground, lifeblood spurting from their wounds. Who's going next?
I'm just going to roll my prayer dice real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Well done. Another
4, 2, 4.
And a 4. Nice.
Mr. DM.
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Are any of them kind of not dead but very badly injured, so that...
I mean, I'll let you decide if they're dead or...
Yeah, I think this is, if one of them's like alive enough that if we need to, we can interrogate him after that.
I was thinking about doing that to one of the remaining ones, depending on who was going next.
Yeah, like as long as one of them is alive enough to have a conversation with us, that would be great.
Sure.
Quite useful going forward.
Well, yeah. Who's going? Who wants to go after Cal?
I'm happy to go. I will. So Riri hopping on the back of Vinny. As I'm in close range of Azakar, I'm going to use him as a boost. So we goat hop off of Azakar. And as we do, we can get to melee range and have advantage.
Okay.
On the attack. So, ping, and then I ping.
Okay. So this ignorant sprite riding an overly large chihuahua soars through the air.
Yeah, I just like slam just into the back of Azakar, just dunk, and then just as he sort of kills over, we just kind of bends over from the shock. We just use that as a massive platform to over the top of everyone. And Vinny's gonna bite whoever he fancies.
Okay. So yeah, there are two cultists that are were outside of arm's reach of Cal to avoid the murderous flurry. But yeah, they don't expect this to land in their midst.
So I will roll dice. I have advantage with that move. So that is a 19 with fear. 19
with fear. Cal, also, sorry, if you didn't already chuck on your hope that you gained.
Oh yeah, nice. Thank you.
19 with fear. 19 hits.
Fabulous. Roll for chomp. Roll. Hey, there we go. That's 25.
Oh boy. Okay. So, as Vinny hurtles through the air, one of the cultists steps to, I don't know, catch you. And she's just crumpled like wet paper as Vinny lands on her, and sort of her head cracks against the stonework of the portal. The momentum is enough that you're able to fundamentally like springboard off Vinny's back into the final, the 5th cultist, and between for 25 damage. You shred the 2 of them as well.
Yeah. I think Vinny just gets one of them by the back and just ragdolls. Just.
I'll leave the blood splatters there, but one of the blood splatters may still be alive. Ravy, you and Vinny have landed. The 5 kind of cultists are kind of dispatched with, and you notice that Cal is looking at the portal with a furrow on his brow because, as I say, normally you can see through a portal to what's on the other side, but now it just looks like this surface of rippling blood. And as you rolled fear, I'm going to step in and...
Oh, be careful!
Huh?
Dead! All dead.
well, I'm then going to peculiarly spend a fear, and I would like to roll. Only a 4. Cal, you notice that the blood, well, the 2 of you, I should say, both notice that the blood, the surface of the portal ripples violently, and then emerging in a large globulous kind of splashes comes barreling through this 4-legged draconic centaur-like creature. And as it does come barreling through, Cal and Ravy, you dive out the way as it swings this 2-handed battle axe in a wide arc. Cal, you kind of jump back. Ravy, you're able to duck under it with Vinny. As this dragon spawn barrels between the 2 of you and then comes to a halt. It then it missed both of you, so then it sort of looks around. It's gone past you. It now looks at the panicking civilians in front of it, and it effectively kind of rises up to an upright position. I'm then going to spend another fear as the portal ripples a second time, and one of the cultists that was still alive, the chest is crushed under the weight of this Drakator's foot as it a second emerges wielding an equally savage looking battle axe, and it's just gonna take a big swing at Azakar. Not Azakar, at Cal.
I was gonna say, that's a big swing.
It's a big swing. There's a 14 hit.
It does indeed.
Okay.
That's gonna hurt, isn't it? I feel it in my bones. It's gonna hurt.
It's a big boy swing.
So it's 2d6 plus 15. Okay. As this second one steps through, it sees you, Cal, and with a roar, it sort of it pushes off the poor cultist that is just crushed underfoot and effectively bodies into you for 24 physical damage, and you have to spend 2 armor slots to reduce 1 level of damage.
Okay. Cool, I can do that.
As it just bodies you with its bulk.
Okay, so 2 armor slots, because it's in my major damage, luckily. Because I have 26 severe damage now, which is a relief. So I was able to get it down from major damage to minor.
Okay.
So they've taken 1 HP damage.
Okay. So as these 2 Drakators emerge, who wants to go next?
Azakar's gonna, upon seeing these creatures appear through the portal, he is going to rush up as far as he can. And he is going to do Bolt Beacon at the one that's closest to him.
Okay. So the one that's just charged Cal and Rayri, but sort of like both of them knocked out the way of.
Yeah.
Okay. Bolt me some beacons.
Good one.
It is with hope, however.
Oh, lovely.
A 5 with hope.
I'm guessing that's not going to do anything.
Let me check. Nah. So, in which case, yeah, as you rush forward and this bolt beacon arcs out, the Drakator sort of like turns its helmeted head to look at you, and like its lips, like the lips of the snout, sort of like pull back in this snarl, and it brings the battle axe up flat side forward and just kind of catches the bolt beacon, and you watch as the divine magic effectively absorbs into this red gem at the center of the battle axe that then moves to look at you like an eye.
Don't like that.
Brother,
Okay, so Azakar, yeah, as this Drakator parries your bolt, who's going next? Oh no, I could go next. Me go next, because you do a
you
miss.
don't have to.
You don't have to, Dan.
The crystal eye looks to you, and then the Drakator rears up, and he's going to body you as well.
Why?
He just wants a hug for 13 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit.
That will hit. For a grand total of 22 damage, and you must spend 2 armor slots to reduce the damage.
Big old bums. Okay, I'll spend 2, and I will get that down to a minor damage.
Okay. So yes, the Drakator, having just caught your bolt beacon, then sort of like rears up on its rear legs. So its hands go to the end of the battle axe, and there's this large swing that you're able to jump out the way, but it does kind of nick you as you dodge out the way. That was his turn. Alfric or Vanya up next.
Is there something you want to do first, Alfred?
I'm just
Or are
trying
you
to
still
decide.
thinking?
I could go next. I think I know.
Okay.
Alfred, I think seeing this Drakator here about to try and attack this group of commoners, or very close to Alfric, in a panic will cast Mystic Tether.
The panic will cast Fireball on the commoners.
Fireball on
to
the
get them
commoners.
first.
Let's get rid of them. He'll cast Mystic Tether on the Drakator.
Okay.
So make a spellcast roll against a target within far range. On a success, they are temporarily restrained and mark a stress.
Okay. So please roll me a presence check.
Presence check. It's a 9, but I rolled with hope.
At least you rolled with hope. Okay, in which case, what does this is the first time you use it. What does your Mystic Tethers look like?
I assume gets out his violin, strings a couple of like very tight notes, and it's like the extensions of the violin strings shoot out like a blue light towards the creature.
Amazing. In which case, as these strings kind of arc out, and like the Drakator's in profile as it's kind of wailing on Azakar, and the strings begin to wrap around the the torso between the four legs, sorry. But then the Drakator turns to look at you, and then you watch as he, like with this large scaly hand that looks significantly more brutish than your own hands, he almost kind of grabs these magical strings and pulls on them, and they snap with a boom, boom, boom. That terrible noise of when your violin string breaks. It just rips them from around his midriff, and they kind of disperse into mists of mana. Anything else, Azakar? Would you like to move?
You mean Alfric?
Alfric, sorry. Would you like to move, Alfric?
I think seeing this another spell not work, Alfric, in kind of a desperation, he'll kind of hesitate, and then run sort of into the crowd of commoners and sort of try and in just sort of an attempt to like usher them towards the door, like
sure.
away.
Sure.
I thought you were just hiding yourself in amongst the commoners.
Yeah, a load of meat shields.
Just say, come on.
Right, I will interject after Alfric. The Drakator up near between Cal and Rayri, that's going to have another turn, and this time, so he's sort of like bodied into Cal, and having just kind of knocked you back a little bit, the Drakator turns, because he can hear presumably Vinny going doing a chihuahua snarl.
He's still got like a cultist body in his mouth.
And there is a loud, high-pitched scraping as this battle axe carves a groove along the stonework floor as he brings it up in an uppercut type swing in your direction. That's a 13 to hit.
Wait. It meets, because this I talked about earlier, I have to remember when I've got Vinny with me,
yeah,
it ups my invasion. So it's a 13.
Yeah.
Mine is a 13. Yours is a 13. So it meets it.
Beats it.
Okay.
So Vinny tries his best to get the two of you out the way, but you will take 24 damage for your troubles. And once again, you would have to spend 2 armor slots to reduce it by 1 level.
Okay, I will do 2 armor slots. And reduce it to major damage. I still mark 2 hit points. Okay. Yep.
So yeah, this one's just sort of like belly barged into Cal, knocked Cal back a few steps, and then spun round and brought the axe up to you. He then turns, the Drakator turns to the second. Who amongst us do we reckon speaks Draconic?
Frick.
That being like the holy language.
I feel like Alfric wouldn't.
I'm thinking Azakar does.
I think Azakar probably does.
Yeah. Okay, well, at the very least...
He gets by.
Well,
he can order a sandwich.
Yeah. You're certainly able to acknowledge what's being said, as the Drakator by the portal that's just attacked Rayri bellows in Draconic, "Cull the Horde!" And the second that's fighting you, Azakar, like nods as it acknowledges the instruction to cull the Horde. That's my turn. Who's going next? Vanya, I assume?
Yep. So, what Vanya will do is go up into this space. Is that alright, space there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so essentially...
running through people.
Yeah, Vanya kind of like uses them as almost like a very bad means of like cover to like be able to sneak up on this creature. As Vanya is like sort of skirting these people, planning to go for like a powerful uppercut on this big Drakator. I'm just going to activate a couple of things. I'm going to activate my deadly focus, and just for fun, I'm going to activate my signature move.
You gotta name it.
I gotta name it.
That's the rules. You gotta name it. You gotta say it.
It's 10-ton missile fist. No,
But it
10
says
finger.
that
The 10-finger missile fist.
Yeah. It literally says in the description of this new move is that you have to name it and describe it and include its description whilst you do it. So it's literally like an anime style, like, oh,
Yep.
dynamite fingers.
Level 5 shenanigans. Nah, this is what I get for letting you level up.
Yeah, so essentially what's been happening, as everyone's sort of already been like pressing forward, Vanya's took that moment to build up the wind and ice primal magic in his gauntlet, as he sort of then takes this chance now to press the advantage, skirting around the people and coming in with a powerful uppercut. And in this moment, there's just this almost like a mini tornado of wind and ice that's cutting and spinning as he goes for this uppercut. And let me just see if I hit first before.
So your hope die is now a D20 rather than D12.
Yep.
Have you got the new macro?
Yeah, I got the new macro. Yeah. That's for the signature move macro. Is that for my to hit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just do that. Normal.
And you get advantage as well, I believe.
Do I?
I thought, I don't know.
No, I don't get advantage. I just what I've done is I've beefed up my proficiency bonus to a for the weapon damage with my deadly focus and also my signature move. So does a 17 hit?
A 17 does hit.
And that was rolled with fear. By the looks of it, yep.
Oh, I've actually still got it called the 10 knuckle fist missile in the chat. That's
oh my god. Yeah. So screen. Yeah, bro. So yeah. So Vanya comes arcing up, bringing this whirling blizzard fist, and shouts out in this moment of really cool cinematic stuff. What was the name? Hold on. Yep. He's just like.
Knock off his missile!
I'm keeping the suspense. No, he's like, fang of the wolf queen. And yeah, this arc of cold blizzardy wind just cuts into this creature, which now I get to roll. Where is it?
So roll normal damage, and then because you've hit, you're going to clear a stress.
Yes, and I also roll an extra D10 on top of this. Let me just roll another D10. Hold on. So that is a 32 points of magical damage to this creature.
Well. 32, eh? That is severe damage. So as this sort of like supercharged punch, where on the Drakator are you striking?
I'm going towards its like jaw, where obviously I know is going to impact. But, you know, trying to dodge most of this armor and trying to go for the squishy area of its like neck and jaw as I try and almost.
What's your
bring it up into the air.
Where does your extra D10 come from?
Deadly focus. I get.
You deadly focusing,
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got on this one creature for the moment 4d10 plus 3.
Okay, so it does severe damage. It takes 3 damage. The Drakator is rocked, and then sort of like turns to regard you as you, as you. Sorry, what part of it are you punching?
The sort of neck and jaw.
Okay, the horn on that side of the Drakator's head, which you realise is its actual horn that's just kind of protruding from a gap on the helmet. The horn snaps and the Drakator roars in pain as it's rocked a couple of steps. Cal, you have to.
Eyes and cuts on its like bottom jaw and neck.
Okay, in which case, as it staggers away with the frost clinging to its bottom jaw, Cal, you have to kind of dodge out the way a little bit as it comes barreling towards you, and then it just sort of like turns to regard you with this snarl, as you can see sort of like blood trickling from where the horn meets the skin under the helmet. It's like this black ichor. Anything else, Vanya?
No, that is it.
Okay. Alfred, as you are amongst the crowd, you're attempting to sort of like shepherd them away, right?
Yes.
Okay. Please make me a reactive. You tell me what ability you're using to try and convince these civilians to get to safety.
I suppose it's a presence.
Yeah.
Presence roll.
Okay.
Just a normal.
Yes, please. Yeah, make me a standard thingy roll. 22. It's reactive, so won't worry. That is absolutely fine. You're able to convince these civilians to quickly depart, and sort of like in effect calmed by your presence and your words. The civilians around you rush out of the door that you entered in, along with like the portal guard leads those 2 goblin women out as well, and because you were able to save the civilians, everyone can mark a hope.
Hey. Well done, Alfred.
Make sure you mark that in Foundry so we remember. Start of the next round.
Me.
Yeah, go.
Hey.
My turn to fight the centaur, the dragon centaur. Okay, I am going to... So I'm going to see what's happened around me. Before I attempt anything with me, I'm wondering if me and Mary want to tag team on Drakator. I'm not sure what. I'm suggesting maybe something like you... maybe you and Vinny distract him, and then I can get him in the back, or I can get on top and...
If Ravi just goes round the legs with a rope...
Yeah.
And then...
True,
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking we could just run really fast and it's like, whoa.
I thought it'd work, and then, something like that. So I feel like a tag team would be good. I now have 3 hope, so I can spend that, but I think you also have 3 hope.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I also have 3 hope.
So it's Cal's turn, so Ravi, if you want to spend your 3 hope now, you can join the tag team.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
Let's get rid of these bad boys.
Cal, make your choice as to what you want to roll. So make your attack, presumably.
It will be my agility roll. I think I'm double checking if I have anything else. Cool. No, that's fine. I'm just going to keep this in mind in case if I make an agility roll, which I'm about to. You can mark a stress to re-roll your hope die, and then you take the result. So let's see how badly the hope die does.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go with the agility. Cool.
So you've rolled a 5 on your hope die.
Do I risk it?
For a grand
'Cause it's-
total of 16 with your broadsword.
Yeah.
Well, as a side, actually, Rayri, if you're tag teaming,
We might as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
so make your roll. And
Okay.
No better. Might as well take
So
yours.
We know a 17 hits, but we don't know if a 16 does.
Would you
I
like?
would-
Would you like a prayer dice to boost that up?
Yes, please.
For 17. There you go. Have a tour. Have a tour prayer dice.
okay,
Love you, Advocate. Thank you, Advocate.
so that will take your 16 to an 18 with fear. But the two of you hit.
Amazing.
So let me take that fear. That lovely, lovely fear.
Cool. And then I would like to deal damage by marking a stress to take the maximum value of my damage dice instead of rolling it, please.
Okay.
If that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that will be, I'm going to use Spell Render and the Broadsword, which
And
is...
then-
Oh, no, actually, no, let's just do the Broadsword because that's +3, so that's 3d8 plus 3.
Well, I mean, you might as well attack with spell render because it just gives you extra damage if you dual wield.
Well, the Spell Render says it's 3d8 plus 2. And
If
then
you attack with
Broadsword-
just spell render, but if
spell
you
render.
use the dual
Yes,
weight
okay.
wield, you just do more damage.
Cool. Ignore me. Alright, so we're not rolling, we're just getting the...
And Ravi, if you rolled your damage,
Yep.
we'll add that to whatever Theo rolls.
Well, I'm not rolling up.
Oh,
So,
whatever. Whatever made up number Theo presents me.
so yeah, so it's 3 times 8. So that's 24 plus 3.
27.
is 27.
47.
Whatever. 27. No, it's 27.
27 plus 20.
Plus my 20.
40 damage, 47 damage. In a surprise to absolutely no one, that is lethal. That is severe damage. Beg your pardon. Boom! 3 points of damage to the Drakator as, Cal, as you go above and Rayri, you go beneath. This Drakator is just sandwiched between your flurry of cuts between the three of you. I guess.
I think I'm actually standing on it. I'm standing on the Drakator's back now.
Is this a Legend of Zelda back of a line or like just stabbing
Yeah,
in the head?
Just rodeoing that boy.
That's it.
Amazing. Okay, so between the two of you, 47 damage. Wow, wee wow. Very good, Cal. Do you want to move, or are you happy staying in melee?
I'd be on the back of this Dragator.
Okay.
Let's just...
Tell you what, let's plonk you on the actual back of it. Who's going after Cal? It sounded like Azakar
That
wanted
was
to.
fear, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Oh, in which case.
Sorry.
In which case, Cal, as you are clambering over it, an arm comes out, and that arm may or may not be holding an axe. 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ouch.
So,
Oh,
like an elbow comes back and catches you in the side, and as you're sort of like rocked from the back of the rocked from the back of the thing, the battle axe comes around and like catches you in midair for a grand total of 2d6 boop, 21 damage, and you have to spend double armor to negate.
That's okay. So again, it's not in my severe damage, it's in my major, so I can reduce it again, so that's 4. And then it's only... So I've still got 3 hit points left. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, actually, before... Because you did melee on me, I'm going to be very good and remember all of my effects this time. So, when you're hit by an enemy in melee range, you roll number d6 equal to the amount of hit points you marked. So in this case, it's 1. But each of... So if I roll 1d6, I can deal a point back to the enemy.
Okay.
Okay, so I just roll a d6 and see what happens. No, I don't think that works.
In which case, you try to swing at the The Drakator, as you're sort of like hurtling through the air, but the blade of the axe catches you and like swings you away, and unceremoniously kind of deposits you back at the bottom, back on the ground. Okay, yes. It sounds like Azakar was chomping in at the bit.
Nice. I'm going to spend 3 hope.
Why do I have this intense fear every time someone says, I'm going to spend 3 hope?
It's because they're the coolest, really.
I've got to spend all my money.
I'm going to spend all my money to kill the man. I'm going to spend 3 hope to play my new card. Come on, mouse, go over here. Smite.
Oh no. Oh no.
So on my next successful attack with a weapon, so it doesn't really matter if I don't get you this time because I might get you next time.
Yeah.
Double the value of your damage roll, and this attack deals magic damage regardless of the weapon's damage type.
Sure. Okay. So the sword is glowing brightly.
Yes.
I'm imagining, because it does that normally, there's also divine runes circling it, like orbiting the blade.
Yeah. I like
Extra
that.
magic.
Just crit.
Oh god, it'd be so funny if I got a crit.
Ah,
We
close.
saw it. We
thank
saw
you,
it.
Grit. Close to Grit.
A 17 with hope is a hit. So
Nice.
mark your hope and roll your damage and double it.
Oh.
Come on. Big money, big money, big money.
So 42. Also, I mean, I'm hoping that it's like he's already dead, but I am also going to use my other new card, which is Body Basher, which means I can add an extra 3 points because that's my strength trait to the total damage.
That's added in already.
Oh, it's added in? Is it?
Yeah, because you're
Okay.
normally 3d10 plus 1, so I've added the plus 4. Plus 3 for you. So here's 21. Okay, so 42 damage is severe.
Geez.
Tell me what this looks like, Azakar.
Yeah, as he's felt the battle axe go sort of like across his chest, feeling a little bit more that this is a much more bigger opponent than what they anticipated actually seeing here. He has started charging up his scimitar. You see the runes sort of start to glow brighter and start actually sort of circling around his blade as he goes for a flourish to then sort of jab it just right into the chest of this creature.
And you drive the scimitar deep into the chest cavity of the Drakator, which roars as it's just been rocked by this enormous blow from Vanier, and it's just been skewered through the chest by you. And you watch as its shoulders slump, and then it lifts its head to look at you and utter this deep, menacing growl as you realise it is still alive.
What?
What?
And
you what, bruv?
It looks like, and it goes to grab at your wrist that's currently holding the scimitar embedded in its chest. That's Azakar's turn. Who's going next? Alfric, Vanya, or Rayri?
I mean,
I'm happy to do one last chomp on this almost. Or shall I go for shall I try and finish off the Drakator, the Saboteur. Yeah, okay. Rayri.
Go, Rayri, go.
After she's running around. She's a bit dizzy because Cal was just like run, and then she's just like running around in circles, and she's a bit like so as she kind of stops and then just slams straight into Drakator number.
The one grappling with the one that's currently holding.
With one that's holding on to Azakar. She kind of sees it off as in the glimmer and just goes, all right.
Because you've just watched as the battle axe arm has come up in a executioner's position.
And we're just gonna go straight in for a jump and chomp.
Okay.
We're close enough so we can just get straight up to him. I'm gonna roll my dares. Come on. Oh, it's a crit! I did the wrong one! Fuck!
Okay. It's maxed. Well, roll your dice and then add your max damage. So your max damage is 33, so that is 54 points of damage.
Yeah.
Cool. That is double its severe value. So you say you just run in and do a little chomp.
Run in and just do a little chomp. I just wanted to take off like 10 hit points, but
Vinny launches and grabs onto the throat of this Drakator, which then roars in pain as this thing like weighs down on its neck. The arm's flailing because it can't bring its arm down because there's a giant chihuahua in the way, and then Raimi's crawling over it like a little butt spider.
Yeah, just got an arrow. Just.
And Azakar and Vanya, you have to duck out the way as this thing like rears up onto its rear legs to try and sort of like shake Vinny from the death grip around its throat. Like Alfric, it's let go of your hand and your scimitar's kind of pulled free, and then there's like a final crunch from the sort of like the dire chihuahua's jaws, and then the Drakator slowly collapses to the ground, flattening this sort of like rope barrier and box, just crushing it under its massive bulk. Anything else, Raimi?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of, they all fall down. They just both kind of just like look up, just kind of crazed look. Her and Vinny both splattered with blood, and just like looking at Azakar like, did we do such a good job? Like,
Theo, was there something you want?
Was that the Drakator that said Cull the Horde, or is it the one that
That's the Cull the Hoarder is your one, the one that's still alive.
Cool. And then another thing,
yes.
Who's culling now?
That was amazing. Just like shouts that over from where he is.
just looking at Cal now.
Yeah, because that means you now get 3 hope, and so do I, because I complimented you on something.
Ray, remember that you also get 1 hope for rolling crit.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going after Ray? There's 1 Drakator left.
Who's gonna top that? Nothing.
I mean, that sounds like a challenge, Vanya.
Hang on, Vanya.
Vanya sees this display and is like, nice. And feeling inspired and almost like a thrill, like a surge of like blood boiling, blood pumping from the challenge. He is almost on all fours, just leaps towards the other one, like flying through the air, like.
Gonna do the same thing as Vinny, just onto his neck.
So yeah, I gotta. I don't, because I've lost now. That creature's dead. I've lost my focus on deadly focus. So I can't do that anymore. So yes. And that. So yeah, I'm. Do you know what? Because of this, of that moment, I almost feel like this is time to use my thrill of the hunt experience from that challenge. So I'm gonna spend my 1 hoop just because I'm pumped. And I'm going to add +3 to this roll.
Come on. Nice.
It's done with fear, but it's +3 on top of that. Wait. Hold on. No, +4, +3. So that's +7 on top. So 1, 2. So that's 25 to hit.
That's a hit.
In which case, I am going to roll damage. 25 points of damage as I leap onto this creature, and socket one.
So 25 points. As you leap towards and sort of like, sucker punch this Drakator in the side of the helmet as it's tussling with Cal. That is major damage. So it loses 2 hit points. Again, it rocks from the blow and then sort of like turns to you as you leap towards it. And as you rolled with fear, it's going to immediately, like, it rocks and then sort of like leans forward and with an arc brings the battle axe down in a heavy swing so that's its turn. Swings at you for 19 to hit.
Yep.
For 18 damage.
Oh, that's not as much as I was expecting.
That was a very low roll.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to use that feature I was going to use. Never mind. I take the hit. And obviously is this one that I have to spend the armor slots to get or not?
No, so if you want to spend armor, you have to spend double.
To reduce it by 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The heavy
These
hitters.
are big boys.
These are big heavy hitter boys.
I mean, I've got 8 armor slots, so yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'm going to spend two armor slots to bring it down to a minor, and because of my thick skin trait of my ancestry, I'm going to roll d6, and on a 5+, I don't take damage.
Okay.
Where's my d6? There we go. Roll, baby. Oh, 1. Yep, I take the damage.
You take the damage. Okay. So, it swings the battle axe down, the blade like embeds into the stonework, but you're able to dodge out the way of the vast majority of it. Okay, as it wrenches the axe free, we pan to Alfric.
You could do better than that.
Oh, and Alfric.
Go on, Alfric, go!
Finish him! Finish him! Finish him!
Fatality.
Has lost many of his long-range spells. He got rid of them in favour of the big one that he's not going to use.
Go on.
Do it.
So I think for the first time in this adventure, he's going to remember that he has a sword he can use. And he's going to draw it. He's going to leap the
the body of the other Taurus or Drakator.
Yeah. And he's going to attack this one.
Okay.
So I think that's. I think I have to roll presence for.
Your rapier would be.
Yes.
Agility?
Agility,
Is it?
I believe.
I think it says presence.
Well.
I've got it here anyway, so.
Well, you've done 21 damage if you hit, but let's have a look at you.
Oh yeah, sorry, that was the wrong one to hit. Sorry, that was me clicking randomly. There we go. Yes, it says I roll presence for my rapier.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So good.
26 with hope, so I'll mark your hope, and you're up to 2 hope, and you did 21 damage. I've got a sneaking suspicion you did 21 damage.
I might have done 21 damage. Premonition of the future.
So, Alfric, talk me through how this happens.
I think from behind you hear, as has become customary, a slightly panicked yell, as Alfric leaps the barrier of the sort of the holding area. Sword drawn in a way that tells you he hasn't drawn it since he and Cal were learning when he first joined the gang. Barrels past, and he plunges it with not much grace into the head of this Drakator.
Well, okay. So I'm imagining if you're dashing in, it's just swung the battle axe down. Vanya's dodged out the way of being bisected vertically.
I imagine it's gone up. It's gone up
through
its chin. Yeah.
So yeah,
he's
You've effectively found the soft spot, and it's gone up through the squishy bottom jaw, and then you feel a little ding, as the rapier seemingly hits the inside of the helmet somewhere, and the Dracator, like, one eye twitches as the rapier lodges in, and as you pull it free, the Dracator sort of like roars, like flails a bit, and like this large clawed hand reaches out for you, and then it kind of collides and slips down the steps, as it's reaching for you, and then its body just kind of sags into a death slump, and the Dracator is defeated.
Does the Dracator like melt away again like the other dragons did?
As it slumps, you then watch as the two of them effectively putrefy and sort of like crumble into this black mist, similar to the horned hunters that you fought in the Merethesis plains. But as they do, you notice that the portal begins clearing, and it returns to its azure blue state. And then the opaque blue begins to, details begin to emerge, and it soon becomes this see-through clear portal to Alfric. You recognise it as the road into Seldavon, where the portal, at the point that the four of you arrived at some weeks ago. But the route to Seldavon is now open.
Hey.
I reckon we take a chance to have a quick break. Congratulations, everyone, on completing my portal room mystery.
Was it a mystery? Or...
Was it a mystery?
So we kill these big things? I don't know.
It's a mystery.
As the route to Gannis and Eindrith and whatever machinations they have is laid bare to you, we will take a quick break. We will be, we'll be back in like 10 minutes, give or take, so just before 10 to 10. Where we'll steam through into the second half of this episode. If you are watching this and enjoying it, make sure to hit the like button, hit the follow us on Twitch, subscribe to us on YouTube. We've got loads of other TTRPG kind of live plays and actual plays all the time. So I don't want you to miss out. That would be a shame. I will see you all in a little bit.
Ta.
Bye.
Bye.